A great story takes any gaming experience to the next level. PlayStation provides the gamers an all-out immersive experience by giving them a blend of nice story, insane graphics, and stunning visuals. In this video, I have mentioned the 21 best story games that will leave you completely satisfied. Number 21. Detroit Become Human. It is perfect in every aspect, the story, the graphics, and gameplay too, as it's an interactive choices matter game. Detroit provided the fans with a futuristic experience and a heart-touching storyline. I couldn't have expected a robot to have human feelings towards the end of this game. I guess Detroit changes your perspective on the whole AI robotic stuff. I am not going to give any spoilers, but I am sure that you will thank me after playing this game. The short story of Detroit is that you play as an android, and throughout your entire playthrough, you make several choices and decisions. All these actions or choices put the fate of both androids and mankind in your hands. The game shows the story of 3 androids who each have their own goals, and all these android stories are interlinked. Now, Detroit is a game that anyone can play no matter what genre do you like. You must make peace with the whole sci-fi futuristic open world, and the game will provide you with a touching storyline. Almost every review of this game is 5 stars. From characters to voiceovers and graphics to gameplay, every feature of this game is worthy of appreciation. Multiple endings also deserve a mention, and there are literally a lot of them. The amount of choices you can make in this game is just insane. Number 20. Last of Us Remake. Last of Us is a perfect example of how much a game's story is important. Think about this. Even though graphics and visuals are better in the second part, players still always talk about the first Last of Us. So, having a good story overshadows all the other aspects of a game. The relationship development between the 2 main characters in this game is really touching. I honestly admired everything after finishing the game. There's also one feature that I'd like to point out which not a lot of players mention, is that the game takes you into several different areas or locations throughout your playthrough, such as the suburbs, sewers, snowy areas, and much more. All this traveling gives a beautiful immersive feeling, and the relation between Joel and Ellie is a cherry on top. The gameplay and combat deserve a lot of credit, as it's neither too much nor too little. There's a fair amount of combat in the first part, which also provides a sense of realism. Multiple weapons and different ways to kill enemies makes the game engaging. You can switch between complete stealth mode or straight-up guns blazing.
Well, this is what most zones look like. This place has been abandoned for a while now.
I hear hunters.
Number 19. Horizon Zero Dawn. I have talked about Horizon in several other videos as well. The game comes up in almost every top 10 list, whether it be good graphics, best visuals, or gameplay, overall storyline. Horizon was a slap in the face. I still remember when the game first came out. I never thought that it will be able to gain such recognition. Horizon also managed to get a sequel faster than other games, and even the sequel titled as Forbidden West is well made. If you want something more of a big, stunning open world with breathtaking visuals and a touch of sci-fi enemies, then Horizon will be your prime choice. I'm also not a fan of futuristic sci-fi genre, but this game combined all the features and made me feel like that I'm in a fantasy open world. The main story is well made, and you gradually understand the story and pick up the pieces in your playthrough. The only downside is that it's way too big. 100% completion of Horizon will take a lot of your time, not to mention the DLC. Such attention to detail is second only to Red Dead 2 and a few other games. Number 18. Marvel's Spider-Man. All the 3 games are awesome. Spider-Man 2018 was the reboot of Spider-Man games in the modern consoles. I think that most of you have already played this game, so I won't go too deep into the story description. Now, in terms of a good storyline, first part is better than the second. I believe that the second installment only has more improved graphics or visuals, and the Venom thing is also the cause of all the hype. Gameplay-wise, Spider-Man 2 is better. But the story I feel is better in Spider-Man 2018, though it's just an opinion. Also, there are already a lot of Spider-Man games in the last few decades, so I guess this one could have been a nice choice as a final tribute to the series. Number 17. Uncharted 4. My first introduction to the Uncharted series. Without a doubt, I can say that if you haven't played this one, then you're missing out on a lot of cool stuff. Uncharted 4 gives a true sense of adventure. The game perfectly depicts what it means to find hidden treasures and what kind of problems the seekers may encounter. I'm not gonna say much about the graphics because I have already talked about them in another video. In my opinion, unlike other games or companies, Uncharted 4 was the best ending or tribute to Nathan Drake's journey. I'm glad that Naughty Dog ended Nate's story with the 4th installment, but I don't want the Uncharted series to end as a whole. But anyways, the multiple areas such as islands, jungles, towns, mansions, all these made the gamers feel like adventurers and gave them a feeling that they are looking for hidden treasures while going from one clue to another. There are also some well-written characters in the game. Uncharted games will always be my favorite. This is one of those rare game series where every game is just perfect. Now I just want Naughty Dog to release the Nathan Drake collection on PC too. It was weird to just directly port the last part instead of going in a chronological order.
This was really a great idea, Nate. Do you want to drive? No, you're doing just fine.
Number 16, Days Gone. It's one of the best zombie game ever. Despite being a long game, you will still feel that the game is engaging and will never give you the feeling of quitting. Although, those few tailing missions where you must keep an eye on the scientist were highly boring. The story of Days Gone is quite satisfying as it blends the main character finding his wife and the truth of zombie virus. There are also a few touching scenes as the main character remembers their happiest moments throughout the journey. Days Gone is perhaps the best open-world zombie game. You will feel an absolute beast while playing this game simply because of your bike. The developers did a great job providing the players an opportunity to cruise through the open world on a badass bike. Major highlights of Days Gone are the availability of weapons and customizations, bike upgrades, overall story, the open world, and the characters. Number 15, God of War. Now, how many of you remember the hype around this game? Tell me about your favorite memories from God of War series. The 2018 installment acted as a reboot for the original God of War series. I really liked the idea that new-gen fans will also be able to enjoy the game on modern consoles. The story was perfect as it takes the players through distinct landscapes while showing the relation between father and son. It was also great to see Atreus' reactions after seeing how famous his father actually is. The best way to describe the importance of God of War 2018 is that fans have gotten a new game in the series after a long time. This majorly affected the sales along with all the new content and insane graphics that the game provided. Number 14, Persona 3 and Persona 5. Now, if you've made it this far, you can probably skip this one since I'm not the best person to describe the Persona series. The only reason I included this game on the list is that, even though I've never played the Persona series, they're still on my playlist. I know these games have the best storyline. As someone with no personal experience, I turned to the internet. After reading reviews and articles, I've realized that the 3rd and 5th installments are the best in the series in terms of overall story. Honestly, I love JRPGs, but the Persona series is different. I don't like the overwhelming amount of visual text these games contain. We know all JRPGs have some story shown through text, but I believe Persona takes it further. Additionally, the games are very long. Putting up with visual text and side content dialogues for many hours becomes quite boring. Don't get me wrong, I know some of you are fans of the series or will say I need to play them first before reviewing. However, it's up to you whether you take my opinion or test these games yourself. I will give a better review once I play them, but honestly, there are a lot of games on my playlist that I still need to finish. Number 13, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. With the sequel coming out in the next few weeks, I think it's the perfect time to talk about the first Hellblade game. Despite all its pros and cons, I want to emphasize that Hellblade is not for everyone. Trust me, I'm saying it again. It's not for occasional fun-loving gamers. Hellblade clearly depicts traumatic events, cults, psychotic horrors, and dismembered body parts. So, unless you're looking for a good, traumatizing horror experience, don't decide to play this game.
It's not too late to get into the boat and go back. No one will judge her. No one will ever know. Oh, she heard us.
Number 12, Sekiro. This game also won the Game of the Year award. Sekiro is my all-time favorite From Software game, even better than Elden Ring. I am a huge Shinobi fan, so I loved everything about this game. Though Tsushima beats Sekiro in terms of graphics and open world, Sekiro is a game that can be played several times in New Game Plus modes. Players can spend hundreds of hours defeating numerous bosses. I'm telling you, the enemies in this game are no joke. Now, let's talk about the story. The biggest reason I put Sekiro on this list is because of the immense devotion shown in the story. The main character even betrays the Shinobi moral code to protect his lord, Kuro. The multiple endings are a standout feature. Also, unlike the Dark Souls series, the areas in this game are much livelier and beautifully designed. Remember the Fountainhead Palace? I think every hardcore gamer needs to play Sekiro at least once. Depending on the choices you make, the ending will change, and to get the best ending, you would have to collect a few items and even face off against the serpent. Number 11, Plague Tale: Innocence. What a surprise this game was. Plague Tale is a game designed for fans who love immersive environments and compelling stories. There isn't much intense action. The game is slow-paced and more stealth-focused. The highlight is the relationship between the two main characters and how realistic the killing feels in the game. Unlike other games where you get guns and swords, in Plague Tale, you mostly rely on stones, takedowns, slingshots, and environmental traps. Additionally, the non-turn-based feature deserves credit, as the game lets you play as a little kid to solve puzzles or find ways to progress further. If you can appreciate a slow-paced, more realistic stealth-focused game, then Plague Tale: Innocence will be a decent choice. There's also a recently released sequel that improves upon the first installment. Nevertheless, story-wise, this game is at its peak.
Smoke. There must be a lot of people.
Number 10, Until Dawn. Despite being an early PS4 game, Until Dawn was well made. Until Dawn is one of the best horror games of 2015. It even gives some recent horror games a run for their money. This game is not like the action-packed Resident Evil series. It's a choice-based game. All your decisions and choices can have an immediate impact, unlike other choice-based games. You could say it's a flawed but fun experience. The story can be considered 50-50. I wanted to mention this because many people are still sleeping on this horror gem. The best thing about this game is that it always keeps you on your toes, because any character can die at any moment without warning. There's also a ridiculous amount of gory death scenes, including dismembered body parts, completely snapped jaws, blood, decapitations, and much more. In short, Until Dawn will be an amazing horror experience.
Looking out for my girl, Em. Just because he's class prez doesn't mean he belongs to everyone. Mike is my man.
Hey,
Number 9. Life is Strange. Life is Strange is an episodic adventure game. It's somewhat similar to Telltale series games, where your choices affect the outcome and create subtle and significant changes throughout. You feel empathy for the characters in the world, and while handling mature themes such as depression, the game keeps you gripped to your seat. As a player, you feel like you influence the relationships between the characters. The music and art design are unique and aesthetically pleasing, which is a nice change from the usual games I play. Finally, I must say how much I recommend this game. I've experienced nothing like it before. The soundtrack is gorgeous, there are emotional and touching scenes with surprisingly heavy topics and beautiful scenery throughout. I highly recommend trying this game out. There's not much ongoing action, but it's a highly story-focused game.
Of everything. I should have known. She'll have better equipment than Blackwell.
Number 8. Final Fantasy VII. OG fans might say I'm wrong to choose the 7th installment from the series for the best story ever. However, I've only played a few Final Fantasy games, so I might not have a perfect idea of which one has the best storyline. In my opinion, Final Fantasy VII has all the classic characters like Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth. The overall gameplay action and semi-open world are better in this game. The newest remake enhances the importance of the 7th part in the series, showcasing how great Final Fantasy VII was. The main story revolves around a battle to reclaim freedom from the villains, with Sephiroth acting as an iconic villain. I believe the 7th installment is a great choice to get into the series. The newest remakes have enhanced all the visuals, details, and graphics. New-gen fans can experience the classic series on modern consoles, even on the PS5. Number 7. Batman: Arkham Knight. Arkham City and Arkham Knight are the two best games in the series. Both games mark a specific era for Batman games. Arkham Knight serves as a well-made final ending to the iconic series. Besides having a cool story, the game is significantly improved in terms of graphics and world design. Having a Batmobile is a dream for players like me. The story summary is that after the events of Arkham City, Gotham finds itself under the grip of a vengeful Scarecrow as he tries to dismantle Batman's image. The overall combat, stealth, and gliding mechanics have helped elevate the series throughout its run. Batman: Arkham Knight is a dramatic finale and an explosive finish to a beloved series. Number 6. Resident Evil 4. This one is much better than Resident Evil 2. The fourth installment was a complete change for the franchise, introducing several new mechanics. Up until the fourth part, the Resident Evil series was mostly about stealth, horror, and puzzles. This time, however, the developers focused more on action combat, and it did remarkably well. The game provided fans with a balanced experience of combat and spooky environments. Resident Evil 4 may even be my favorite game from the franchise. Leon is a well-written protagonist, and that's the only reason you need to consider playing the Resident Evil series. The all-out action in this game felt really satisfying. The blend of horror, spooky environments, and the thrill of blasting zombies' heads was an intense experience. Number 5. Yakuza 0. Yakuza 0 is a game I really love. It has an awesome story, great combat, an immersive world, and characters with deep backstories. It starts off slow, but once you meet the main antagonist, things really get going. If you like anime and crime stories, you'll love Yakuza 0. I give it a 9 out of 10 because it's so fun and has lots of cool moments. Even though the map is a bit small, it's packed with fun activities. You can race toy cars, sing and dance in rhythm games, run a cabaret club, and manage a business. The game is full of activities, and each one is well made. The developers really thought about every part of this game. Yakuza 0 isn't just fun to play, it also has a great story, which isn't common in many games. Number 3. Ghost of Tsushima. What can I say? The perfect game that has everything. I can confidently say that whenever someone mentions the ultimate samurai game, Ghost of Tsushima will surely come out on top. There can never be an open-world samurai experience like Tsushima. It gave fans everything they could ever hope for from an open-world ninja-style game. In fact, even someone who is not a fan of samurai games will surely come to appreciate the beauty of the open world and gameplay mechanics. Sekiro is the best shinobi game in terms of gameplay, while Tsushima is the best when it comes to graphics and the open world. The story of this game is about honor and the moral samurai code. It was great to see the main character, Jin, reclaiming his land and helping his people while learning new skills and becoming better along the way. Number 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. I know that at this point everyone exaggerates RDR2, but we just can't stop. This Rockstar gem is mind-blowing. Also, this video is not about classic PlayStation story games. It's about all-time best story games. So, obviously, Red Dead 2 will get its place. I don't usually cry during games. In fact, I never imagined a game would make me feel so connected and emotional, but Red Dead 2 broke all those expectations. By the end of the game, you will absolutely miss all the characters and moments. It's a game where you can never relive the same moments, even in your second playthrough. It's a one-time experience. Riding with the gang provided some of my favorite memories from the game. Red Dead 2 offers an insane amount of detailed content and stunning visuals. The absence of modern vehicles made traveling more fun and engaging. The game makes you feel like an absolute Wild West beast. I would do anything to experience a fresh start in Red Dead 2 without knowing the storyline. It's the best Rockstar game of all time.
How do you do?
Sure.
How many glasses am I drinking from?
Hi, darling.
Pardon me?
Number 1. The Witcher 3. I mean, you saw it coming, right? How can I finish this list without mentioning The Witcher 3? There is no single main reason why I put this game at the top spot. I just simply like it more than any other game on this list. The story is amazing, but all the other features complement the overall narrative and make the gaming experience intense. The number of side quests you can do in this game is insane. All these side quests and even the main missions make you talk to other NPCs or visit various areas, making you feel more in sync with the open world. Other games provide you with an open world, but The Witcher 3 kind of forces you to interact with it and explore every corner. The books and the live-action series indicate how big of an impact The Witcher has on the entertainment industry. Alright, this concludes the 21 greatest PlayStation story games of all time. I know I haven't included older console games, but I wanted to focus on those that provide an all-out awesome experience along with a great story. If I missed any of your favorite games, please comment down below, and I will surely include them in the next part of this video. Also, if you've made it this far, please subscribe. It will make me insanely happy and motivate me to make more amazing gaming recommendations. So, suggest your favorite video topics and hit that subscribe button. See ya and have a nice day.